All right, so the next part we're going to do is this lofted cut. And so this part you may have seen before, remember from one of the sketching assignments. So we're going to actually just go ahead and make this in CAD. And it tells us it's a 2.5 inch by 1.5 inch rectangle extruded 1.5 inches back. So I'm going to go to Fusion. I'm going to start a new part. And does anybody remember those numbers? Look at you. 2.5, 1.5. Extruded how far? 1.5. Let's double check that. Yep, 1.5. All right, so that's pretty quick. Then we come down here and we've got these two sketches, and it's worth scrolling in and trying to get a better view of those. They're basically triangles, but these are best to do with regular lines. So I'm just going to sketch on one face and then I'll do the other. So I'm going to sketch on here, L for line tool, and without paying a whole lot of attention to things, I'm just going to go ahead and slap some lines on there. Then it's 1/4 inch to the bottom. So I need to dimension this point to this line. And then it's 1/4 inch in each direction. So for that, I may have to actually drag my points a little bit. And see how they're a little messy? That's okay, just dimension the first one. And then hit escape to get out of the dimensioning tool. You should be able to drag this guy over unless he's super grumpy. He's being super grumpy. The reason he's being super grumpy is this little perpendicular right here. I've made an extra constraint I did not want. So I need to delete it. If it'll let me. There we go. So that should let me drag this guy now. As you work in CAD, you'll find every once in a while you'll accidentally connect things to things you didn't intend, or you'll create geometry that you weren't looking for. That's okay. All right, so now I've got that dimensioned out. That looks super gross, though. And the reason being is this is no longer centered. So I've got to dimension this guy over. 2.5 was my width. I can divide that by 2. That got it where I needed it. Then I finish my sketch, and I've got a sketch on the other side. So I need a couple of lines on here. And this same kind of deal, pair of lines, they're 1/2 inch in and 3/4 inch up. Nope. Sometimes the dimension tool and I don't get along in Fusion. Is it just me, or do other people have trouble with the dimension tool sometimes? That might be it. I'm used to, and that's one thing in Inventor that I never struggled with, and in Fusion, for whatever reason, I just can't seem to quite get the cadence down. And the dimension tool and I fight. All right, so I've got my 2 V's. Now I need to loft. Now, one problem I'm probably going to run into, and this is all right, so we'll just see. Oh, nope, and Fusion's going to let me do it. In Inventor, it would never let me select that because it would treat it as an open loop. So I've got both spaces connected. You see it automatically selected that as a cut.
What did you press for that?
I'll show you again. So you go to create a loft, select this area, select that area, and it realizes you're trying to create a space between them. It's going to default to cut because it can't make anything in a space that something's already made, or it doesn't want to at least. If it did, I mean, you could put join, but just cut, hit OK, and now I've got that V shape cut out.
And you made the bigger V on one side and then the other V on the other side?
Absolutely. So let's go back, and so you can see big V here, little V there. And then just loft from here to here. Pretty quick parts. It shouldn't take you very long.